So welcome to part 3 of my video series, Scotland's entire coastline from a drone's eye view. I ended part 2 at the Southerness Lighthouse last week. So that's where I'm picking up from today, flying from the Southerness Lighthouse along the next part of Scotland's coastline. It's a very bright sunny winter's day, sun being low, so if you find yourself glancing in the wrong direction, it can almost blind you. And driving here took me about an hour longer than I expected, as I had to drive really slowly because it was hard to see driving south, and pretty much right into the low bright sun made it a bit precarious. We're going to find a nice point. I think it's called Castle Point, which is about half a mile along this trail here. And there's also a grave site that's marked. It's Nelson's grave, but it's not Lord Admiral Nelson that you might expect, but another Nelson. And although Nelson, the Lord Admiral Nelson, is buried where he died, the Nelson at this gravesite was buried here. So it's really a beautiful little walk, this, along this nice wee coastal trail that's easy for you to follow. And if you feel like you fancy a wee walk, it's not hard. You might need maybe some Gore-Tex boots. Don't come out in training shoes or sannies or plimsolls or slippers, right? Come out with boots. Maybe Gore-Tex boots in case you have to go splashing a wee bit through some mud or some water. But it's a fine walk right on the coast here. And there are markers along the way to keep you on the right path so that you don't get lost. There's a few beautiful big houses sitting down here. Wouldn't it be nice to have a win in the lottery and be able to own a house down here right on this wee coastal walk with your own private jetty, so you can send your yacht down into that estuary. Man, you can always dream. maybe in my next life, if I'm really good in this one, I'll be given a bit more luck and be able to afford a place like that. So as I said, it's well marked all along the way, so you can't get lost following this wee coastal walk. And from where I started to where I want to get to, Castle Point, I think it is, it's only half a mile along this wee trail. Although having said that, the path now diverges, and do I go up this way or do I go down this way? I don't know. I don't think it's this way because the trail seems to run out here and stop. Although this may be a very good point to start my drone flight from. So let's go up and have a wee look just to see. It's not bad. It's not a bad spot here. And I could start the flight here, I suppose. But I really I really want to get a bit further round, maybe closer to Castle Point and the Nelson's grave. So I'll have a look at that the path that goes the other way, which I think is following the coastal route properly. Right, so let's follow the coastal trail. Now that we've got the camera mounted on the gimbal, things might be a bit better. And I've noticed that the wind has picked up quite a bit while I was messing about there for the past 10 minutes, just trying to get the gimbal to balance properly. But we'll continue along the coastal trail. And here is Nelson's grave, as I was describing it earlier. And there it is. And it's Joseph Nelson, who, in my opinion, is just as important as any admiral or lord. Right, so with that being Nelson's grave there, then we must be about as close to the point where I want to launch as I can possibly be. Right. So where to now? And the sun's shining right in my eyes, so it's not absolutely clear where I'm going. If I just keep following the path, then I should get to a good spot soon. If I can find a bit that's quite high up, that would be good too. And I am on a rise at the moment, heading upwards, so that's good. I just don't know what's at the top. So there's quite a good sight there. And we're getting close to the spot, whoops. We're getting close to the spot where I'm going to launch the drone, but it is a bit windy today. So I'm going to be careful and probably keep them quite low. And even the gimbal is getting some judders there as I try to turn it, which tells me that the wind is getting pretty high. That's probably Castle Point. So this is probably where I'm going to launch from and pick up the flight from where I left off last week at Southerness Lighthouse, which is just down there. Right, let's have a look and see what this is. This is Castle Point. Site of ancient fort and settlement dating from circa 400 BC, occupied for nearly 2,000 years. And this point here was erected in 1982.
From Southerness the lantern gleams, guiding ships through weathered dreams. And I rise abune the shoreline, steady, slow. The sand stretch wide in tawny gold. Stories whisper, tales untold, where the Solway turns its secrets to the flow. And the wind sings, I carry in echoes of days gone by. Oh, the tideways, oh, the Solway, where the water meets the sky, and the ghosts of smugglers linger when the moon is riding high. I'm flying over memories that the sea will never tell, from Southerness to Castle Point, where the quiet shadows dwell. Castle Point comes into view, cliffs of ochre heather hue, and the rocks that lead to Rough Island lie exposed. A causeway built of mussel shells, hear them crack beneath their spells, as the sea retreats, its restless heart half closed. And the wind keeps time like a drumbeat o'er the brine. Oh, the tideways, oh, the Solway, where the water meets the sky, and the ghosts of smugglers linger when the moon is riding high. I'm flying over memories that the sea will never tell, from Castle Point to Rockcliffe Shore, where a quiet story fell. Beside the path you'll find a grave worn bare by rain and time. Joseph Nelson, sailor bold, lost upon a winter's cold, washed ashore months too late, laid to rest by fate's own weight. We a stone his widow raised, so his name would I be praised. So the tideways, oh, the Solway, where the past still holds its claim, and the wind across the water whispers softly, oh, his name. Oh, the tideways, oh, the Solway, rolling silver, rolling white, frae Southerness to Rockcliffe, I can hear the turning tide. Every wave's a memory, every breeze a farewell sigh, and the Solway keeps its stories 'neath the ever-changing sky. I glide abune the coastline, let the shoreline lead me hame, where the sea and sky together write the stories of their reign.
There's Rough Island just ahead. It's a tiny tidal island and a protected bird sanctuary. It's peaceful, remote, and easy to miss unless you know what you're looking for. One of the most interesting features is the tidal causeway that links it to the mainland. It's not a man-made path at all. It's formed from rocks, cockle shells, mussel shells,
Centuries of tide and current slowly building a walkway. At low tide you can cross it on foot, but when the sea comes in, the whole thing disappears completely beneath the water. It's a brilliant reminder of how quickly this coastline changes. In one moment there's a clear route straight out to the island, and a couple of hours later it's gone, swallowed by the Solway again. The island itself sits quietly in the middle of the firth, left mostly to the seabirds and the wind. For such a small place, it adds a real sense of character to this part of the coast. A wee wild outpost shaped entirely by the tides.
By Rockcliffe Shore, the morning glows. A hush across the firth that only sea winds know, and rough island waits, say still, say small. A quiet wee haven by the water's call. The causeway shines with shells and stone, a path the tide will claim as its own. And I wonder we the whispers o'er the sea, as the Solway keeps its history. Oh, lead me on where the tides rise and fade, where the gulls cry aye and the memories draw. From rough island's peace to the wide open bay, we'll follow the shoreline, the long gentle way. For the journey's no done and the coast carries on. Frae Rockcliffe to Horse Isles, the tide sings its song. And onward we'll fly through the wind and the light, till Almerness Point greets the end of the night. The mussel shells crack soft beneath, where the causeway fades to the water's teeth, and the island heaves with a breath say slow. Garden birds in the heather's glow. Then back across the sands I roam. Rockcliffe's cottage is calling me home, but the horizon beckons wide and clear, for the next stretch of shoreline is drawing near. Oh, lead me on where the tides rise and fade, where the gulls cry aye and the memories draw. From rough island's peace to the wide open bay, we'll follow the shoreline, the long gentle way. For the journey's no done and the coast carries on. Frae Rockcliffe to Horse Isles, the tide sings its song. And onward we'll fly through the wind and the light, till Almerness Point greets the end of the night. There's a hush in the firth and a shimmer of gold, where stories lie hidden, unbroken, untold. And the waves they I whisper, come wander again. So I follow the tide like an old trusted friend. Oh, lead me on where the shoreline bends, where every new bay is a place that mends. Frae rough islands calm to the cliffs far beyond, we're bound to the coast by a wanderer's bond. And as long as the Solway keeps turning in time, we'll chase every headland, every curve, every line.